In response to the restriction of operations of commercial motorcycles in key local government areas of Lagos State, drivers of some of the leading operators in the e-hailing industry are protesting to seek government's consideration of their plight. Senior correspondent Sharon Ejason has details in this report.
The Lagos State government announced a ban on motorcycles and tricycles across the state on Tuesday, January 28, 2020. In addition, government officials say the ban will affect players in Nigeria's mobility sector. Although the mobility sector is in its early stages, the ban could mean the end for major players like Max NG, Go-Kada as well as O-Ride. The bike riders affected staged a protest in Ikeja, Lagos State. Many of the protesting riders were armed with different banners with inscriptions such as "Regulate, not ban," "Regulate us, not kill us," "No helmet, no ride," over 200 trillion trips, no fatality.
I'm a graduate. This is the only thing we know how to do. We are well trained. Please, the government should consider us. Don't ban us. Please, regulate us. Most of us here have families. I'm the one training myself. I don't have any family. I'm training myself. This is what I used to train myself. If the government should take this one from us, what do they expect us to do? I don't have anything. I'm doing my IT with Go-Kada. If they should ban us now, where do I do my IT? I'm a student of Yaba and I'm going back for my HND. The government should regulate us, please, and not ban us, please.
Mr. Governor, to consider us because we are graduates. A graduate is within, a family man is among us. Please, Mr. Governor, consider us for this situation in Lagos State.
This is our livelihood. Protect our job. Save our job. Protect our pride. Save our job. We are legit.
Some of the spouse of the riders argued that lack of job opportunities is why they choose to become e-hailing riders.
This is the only means of livelihood we have. We pay rent, school fees and more via this means. He is a graduate. He ventured into transport business after many years of being unemployed.
This is our source of income for now. And sometimes, some years back, the former governor came in with this policy that he doesn't want Okada on some major roads in Lagos.
They should regulate, they should not ban it. Instead of banning, they should just regulate it. IGR, they should regulate, please.
In a swift reaction, the lawmaker representing Alimosho local government area says the riders should first comply with the state government's directive.
Now the government has made pronouncement on this issue. Kindly keep cool and keep to the law until we will call you back. I'm coming. Please, we will call you back. As important as this thing, we cannot waste time on it. But we will call you back. But you have to maintain law. And you have to exhibit the same conduct which you have exhibited today. You have to maintain it.
The stakes are high. The ban, if it goes in place on February 1st, will shut down the mobility sector, such as the tricycle operators, regular motorcycles popularly known as Okada. Operations of Okada and Keke Napep have been banned in many local government areas, major highways and bridges. Some of the local government areas affected by the ban are Apapa LGA, Apapa Igome LCDA, Lagos Mainland, Yaba, Surulere, Itire Ikate, Koka Aguda. Others are Ikeja local government area, Onigbongo, Ojodu, Etiosa, Ikoyi Obalende, Iro Victoria Island, Lagos Island and Lagos Island East local government area.
With the rate of unemployment in Nigeria projected to reach 33.5% this year, many are concerned about what will be the plight of these workers who have been affected with this development. Sharon Ejason, TVC News, Lagos.
Now let's get reaction from an operator of a motorcycle hailing systems, Adetayo Bamiduro, who joins us on the news at this time. So if government doesn't change its mind in less than 12 hours, you're likely to be out of job. Irrespective of the huge success you guys have made in such a short period of time. Yeah. Help us better understand how many people this is going to affect and the impact on the economy.
Absolutely. So if you look at our company alone, at Max Okada, we've created jobs for well over 2,000 drivers, right? And we've supported we support over 72,000 indirect jobs. So when you add up those numbers, they're pretty huge. When you also look at the number of dependents, typical average number of dependents that rely on one driver could be anywhere between 4 and 6, right? So we're literally looking at something that impacts the livelihoods of tens of thousands of people, right? Now, beyond the perspective of our drivers also is to look at the commuters and the people that we support, the people that we move around. In fact, in order for me to meet this interview tonight, I had to get out of my car about 5 kilometers from here, and I had to hail a Max Okada to get here. So in terms of also people that rely on these services to move around the city very quickly and get to important meetings, it's also extremely important.
But as we know it now, the ban is not going to take effect across Lagos.
Okay.
It's just a part of Lagos. So what comes to mind is you move to the areas where motorcycles are not banned.
Well, yeah, you could argue that, but if you look at the total size of Lagos, Lagos is about less than 1,000 square kilometers in size. Now, if you look at the areas where motorcycle activities have been banned, those are the commercial nerve centers in Lagos. So when you look at the edges of the city, people typically come from those places to places like VI, to Ikeja to conduct business. So the areas that are impacted by the ban are extremely critical areas. I mean, we've run the numbers. A lot of the e-hailing drivers would see their incomes reduced by as much as 70 to 80% due to this restriction. So the economic impact on the drivers and on the people is very significant.
Is there any point where you understand where government is coming from? They tell you that motorcycles are not even in the original plan for Lagos. The huge amount or number of accidents, that reckless driving, that motorcycles have brought in, its impact on the megacity status of Lagos. Are there any points where you understand the position of government at this point?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of the facts that the government spokesperson put out are valid facts. Security, safety, accidents, those are very, very genuine concerns. So the government the government has quite some really strong arguments, right? Which is why the position that we've taken is that of regulation, to regulate rather than completely ban operators from conducting business. So if you look at our platform, for example, at Max, we've completed well over 2 million trips since we started operating in Lagos. We've had less than 100 incidents, and only about 7 of those were serious accidents.
So you were at the State Assembly. Is there any optimism from your protest today?
So, well, it wasn't actually our company that protested per se, it was the drivers, because, we are a social enterprise, meaning that we have not only economic objectives, but we also have very strong social objectives as well. So the drivers, they know the implications of this. We've held town hall meetings with them, and they've taken it upon themselves to go and advocate, and plead with the government of His Excellency, who we know to be a very progressive person, and is doing a lot of fantastic work in Lagos today. So we are very hopeful that ultimately the government would listen and make some adjustments.
Adetayo Bamiduro is an operator of a motorcycle hailing system. I wish you the best.
Thank you very much.